All right. Welcome to the ASKFaris Show. Welcome to the ASKFaris Show. Guys, tonight I am so excited. I have a very special guest on with us tonight. Elkie, she's actually the CEO and founder of Savvy Moms United. So first of all, Elkie, I just want to say welcome to the ASKFaris Show. And I want to give you a brief opportunity to go through and just tell my audience just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, then we'll get into the meat of it.
All right. So yes, thank you, Faris, for having me on your show. My name is Ellkie Clinton. I am the founder and CEO of Savvy Moms Unite. I hail from New England. I was raised in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, and I actually was living in Massachusetts up until about a year ago when I moved here to Georgia. So I'm a New England girl at heart. I represent.
I can hear the accent a little bit. I can hear the accent.
You hear the accent, right? I still got my New England accent.
Yes.
My story is pretty unique in that I was raised by immigrant parents who worked really hard, worked 3 jobs, wanted the American dream and all that stuff. But we struggled a lot. And so I had a lot of struggles growing up financially, but we were able to do great things. So we went to great schools. I have my master's in education. Wow. I was a career advisor for many years. I've worked in education for over 20 years. But my passion was the journey of a single mom. And that became really strong when I became a single mom, pretty much 2 weeks after my daughter was born.
Wow. We're not going to get into the meat of it.
Sorry.
This is going to be a story that actually really resonates with a lot of individuals because no one plans to really go down a path of being a single parent or being single at all. We plan on actually just kind of raising children together, married, all that good stuff like that. But things do happen. But before we get on that journey, I want to ask you a question, especially about your childhood. I know a lot of times people think that entrepreneurs are born. Have you always been an entrepreneur? Has it always been in your bone, or has it like what was your childhood like? Were you the person that was selling things at school? Like, what was your childhood like a little bit?
Okay, so I'll say is if anybody was going to be a business person in the family, it wasn't going to be me.
Wow.
That was not my initial goal. My dad was a serial entrepreneur. He owned several businesses in his native country, Liberia. And when he moved to the United States, he started many different ventures. Wow. And, some were successful, some didn't go so well. So I watched that as a child and saw him struggle and was like, I don't want that.
Wow.
I was very, nervous about it. But with that said, my dad still wanted one of us to be the business owner.
Wow.
And we were all like, we're going to go into education.
It's actually funny that you said that because, like, I think so many times people, they glamorize entrepreneurship. It's like, well, you're entrepreneurs, y'all out there rocking and rolling, y'all are living a high life, but being a having firsthand experience with an entrepreneur and really seeing the ups and the downs and the rocky roads and the tolls that it takes on family, it's a lot. And that's one thing I really do. I don't ever wish to go through and paint a picture that is really unrealistic, I say, because yes, there's a lot of rewards of being an entrepreneur, but it is a journey. It is a process. It is a price that you have to pay. And sometimes I used to wish, like, you know what? I used to tell my sisters, like, don't go down the entrepreneur path. Just get you a good education, get you a good job, and just live that life so you can go home and be stress-free and not worry about everything else. But being firsthand around entrepreneurship, it's amazing that even though you decided that early on that you were not going to be the entrepreneur, some things that it was in your environment. So it was probably something that was dormant that kind of came up eventually at that time.
It's just like you said, even though, we didn't see him have like tons of money and, all this wealth, we saw the hard work he put in and how it did produce some really good things. Like it was how we bought our family house that we still own today. Wow. If he hadn't gone into an entrepreneurial, way, we wouldn't have owned that house. So it was, we saw the ebbs and flows of it. And for us who were, told to go to school, get a great education, obtain that advanced degree, and find a career, even though we had a father who was an entrepreneur by heart, we were still encouraged to go the traditional route. And so that's why, we were all kind of like, we don't, let's go on the safe route, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Some call, like you and I were probably saying we saw it as safe, but somehow it's still an unsafe route as well. It's still a lot of juggling that has to be going on as well. But one thing, so coming from that childhood, and when was that paradigm shift? When was that moment? I know you said it was like 2 weeks after you had your daughter. That's when the shift happened. So kind of take us back to that moment. Where were you, like, and how this became birthed in you?
So several epiphanies happened over time. So here I was, I was pregnant with my daughter and with the man who I thought I would marry. Like, this was going to be my husband. Yes. We're going to live the American dream, right? Yes. And I was still not yet in the mind frame of being a business owner. All I wanted to do was have a stable income for my child. Mm-hmm. But, things happened. It didn't work out. 2 weeks later, we're like, all right, we'll go our separate ways. Yes. And I'm living at home with my parents. Yes. Because I can't afford to live. My job at the time didn't pay well. So I'm living at home with my parents, my older sister, and we're raising my daughter. Yes. It didn't click to me even 3 years in of parenting. It was when I was in grad school. That's when it sort of started being birthed in me. I was in a research course, and I got to do research on single moms in the middle class because I saw myself in that way. Yes. And as I was doing the research, I was like, first of all, there's not even much on these moms. Mm-hmm. They're sort of in hiding. And why isn't there products and services available to them? Because, they can't go get, welfare and food stamps. They're not qualified. Yes. And they're not on the wealthy side. So they're not able to really have the kind of lifestyle that they would dream of. Mm-hmm. What is going on? What's being provided for them? And that's when I started thinking, I'm going to do it. Wow. I'm going to be the one that's going to fill that gap. And so I started thinking about ways to do it. And I, through my research project, was able to sort of birth an idea that I never thought would be a full-fledged business almost, 6 years later. Wow. And so it started. I'm going to cut you right, because one thing is, through your due diligence, through your process, you didn't give up during the process. Through your process, you realized that there was a need that hasn't been met. And that's when you said, you know what? That's when entrepreneurship that's what entrepreneurs do. We find needs that need to be met. Right. And then we go through and meet the need. And just haphazardly, that becomes a business. That becomes a calling. That becomes a passion. And so that's one thing that I really want my listeners to realize, that you were not out there in search of an opportunity. You were not out there in search of a business. You were not out there looking, but through your research, through something that you already were interested in. You were already in school for a higher education to go through and study this right here. And this just kind of birthed out of necessity, because you were in that situation and you realized there were no other people out there meeting that needs. And there, bam, Savvy Moms United was birthed. Yes. Wow. Yes. Savvy Moms Unite started as a blog, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. I started with blogging my experience in grad school, working full-time and raising my daughter, and, what I was able to accomplish, and talking about things I did to help myself along. I started talking about how I was, living on such small income, but making all these things happen. Mm-hmm. I talked about budgeting and saving money. So I was already talking about those things through my blog. And then one day I was like, okay, this is going to be a business. And how am I going to make that happen? Mm-hmm. And my first start into the business world was horrible. I did not know what I was doing. It was such a chaotic mess. Everybody. Everyone starts off horribly. It's like, okay, we just get so excited and we just run into the wall. Bam. Like, what? Seriously. Yeah. It was like I was so happy too still. I was like, oh my God, I love this. But I had no structure, no foundation, no mentor. Wow. I was literally doing it off of what I thought would be the right thing to do. It wasn't until I would say, so I graduated from grad school in 2013, and then I started working. At the time I was working for a boarding school. Mm-hmm. And while I was there, I was like, this is it. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not passionate about this. Yes. I really want, I really want my business to be something I pursue full time. Mm-hmm. So in the midst of me working there, I was like creating the business and the structure. I hired a coach. I hired a coach who was helping me with the business side and also to get my certification as a coach. And I just started going from there. I started attending conferences. I started putting, a real idea behind the business and having a platform. So, and services, creating the services and products that some still exist today.
So, and what you did, you started really investing in yourself. You started investing time, resources, finances. You really started investing in yourself. And I want to ask you, because I know sometimes as entrepreneurs, we start off running and when you were talking, in my mind, I just heard lean not into your own understanding. And that's one thing I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we kind of just go through and say, we know we have everything. We know the blueprint. No one can tell me anything. I can go. I got this. But sometimes you have to go through and invest in yourself. You have to attend conferences. You have to hire coaches. You have to be mentored because if we knew it all, we would have had it all by then.
Absolutely.
And that's my whole philosophy is success is about getting around those individuals that are going places and just kind of leaning and gleaning off of those individuals because they're willing to go through and help if you go through and ask, if you're willing to go through and invest. And I think that's one thing that when you were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, was that one of the pivotal moments in your life that changed your business?
I would pay my coach 10 times over.
Wow.
Honestly, the best investment, I still invest in a coach. I still every now and then will pay for sessions and I'm in a mastermind too, because I saw the value. It really it totally changed me and my business. And as an entrepreneur, we sometimes in the beginning don't realize that this is probably the best professional development process ever. You will learn about yourself so much that you will learn your really your greatest strengths, and you'll learn your weaknesses and the things that you have to work on. And when I was identifying those points where I had gaps, I was like, I can't continue to operate off these gaps. It's not helping me. It's not helping me feel good about myself and this business. It's not helping me feel excited about it because every day you don't wake up excited to do your business.
Exactly.
There's some things that are just very administrative that you have to do. The creative part has to come after you get the administrative stuff out the way. And I was stuck at one point. I was like, I'll pay again. And that's how I started thinking about my investment in myself. It's no longer a question. It's like, the only question I ask is how am I going to go about doing it and paying for it? Not whether I do it or not. I'm going to do it, but how am I going to pay for it?
Wow, and those are your non-negotiables. You're gonna do it, and resources will come once you make that mind up and say, you know what, this is the path I'm gonna take. Opportunities come, resources come. Everything somehow just aligns. It aligns when you make that mind up to go through and do that. But one thing we want to do, we want to take a quick 25-second break, 30-second break, and then we're gonna come right back because I really want you to delve deep into Savvy Moms United because you have started a movement and you're really changing the lives of so many single moms out there who are transitioning, who's getting their lives intact to go through and start their businesses and fulfill their dreams as well. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to dive really deep into Savvy Moms United.
Thank you.
The moon is out. Welcome back. We're here with founder and CEO of Savvy Moms Unite, Ellkie Clinton, and we've had a great conversation thus far, but we want to go through and actually really delve deep into Savvy Moms Unite and actually just break it down, act like I'm a fifth grader. What is Savvy Moms Unite and what do you all do?
All right, so Savvy Moms Unite is its main goal is to take the single mom from their goals just being written on the paper, like somewhere stuck in a corner, and actually taking those goals, creating actionable steps to it, and implementing them. The implementing stage is where it's the hardest when it comes to goals, and we work to ensure that you meet those goals. Nice. And if it means making sure we kind of dig deeper and break them down even more, or say, hey, this may not be where you want to go right now, let's consider another path. That's what we do. And my biggest, most important part of the business is helping you with your finances, because none of this matters. I can tell you to go on a vacation. Okay, how you paying for it? If that's your goal, how you going to pay for it? So the money piece is always part of the discussion. And I do career transitions because I've experienced many career transitions myself, and I've been able to do some really amazing things as a single mom. And I don't want single moms to feel like, well, I can only do this because that's what I can fit in my lifestyle right now.
Yes.
I want them to expand their minds and think, no, there's so many possibilities to you. We just got to figure out how it fits with where you are in your life right now.
That is so, and my thing is, when you're saying that, so many people, they have dreams, but for a dream to come true, you have to create a plan. Because I think we're gifted, we're given visions, we have dreams, and I think that we can attain those things, but the work comes in when the first step of work is actually putting the plan out. And I think that just like what you're doing, it's so like, I know it's appreciated by a lot of your clients that you're working with, but it's so needed because as we have dreams, we have to go somewhere with these dreams and have people like yourself and people like individuals that are on your team to help manifest those dreams with a plan, and then accountability through actions, because it's just holding your hand along the way. And I think that's amazing. But one thing you said that was really key as well was the financial part of it. Why is finance so important when it comes to your process?
Absolutely. So when we have the average single parent household, about 70% of the average single parent household, and this is low to middle income households living paycheck to paycheck, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to maintain the home on one paycheck. I'm not about to tell anybody that one paycheck is going to make you survive. We know even with two parent homes, two paychecks, sometimes it's really hard to get by. Exactly. So I'm about, let's create multiple ways to bring income into your home. And how do you do that? It's whether you get a side hustle, you do start a business, which I would encourage if you're really in that mindset. I always check your mindset first. I'm not telling nobody to go start a business that's not ready. But if you want to start a business because you want to create a legacy and something to leave behind, then that might be the route you want to go to while you're working full time. And this is how you do it, because I've been doing it. Wow. And created a plan for that, created a real plan that works for you. Wow. And it's very personalized. Everything is for the person. I don't do anything. There's definitely products that I have that, for people in general can take, of course. But when it comes to the one-on-one piece, it's very personal. It's very like, this works for you because this is where you are in your life right now. Not that I wouldn't use this plan with client A and client B.
And one thing I want my listeners to really understand, that we only live one life. We only live one life. And if we really go through and think about that, I was talking to my brother-in-law, I was talking to my wife about this a while ago. I have individuals in my family that I never speak of because I don't think they live a purposeful, passion-filled life. And so somehow I just kind of forget them in the abyss. And I'm like, I never want that to happen. I plan on Lord's will. I'm planning on living to be 100 years old. But I really want my legacy to continue to reign after I'm gone. And I think that's what, especially single moms, they work so hard. I was raised by a single mom. She worked so hard. And again, living on that one paycheck, oh my gosh, she was a teacher, and that was definitely limited amount of income, and that's once a month. So it's very difficult. But my thing is, I saw what she went through. But I saw that she aspired. She went off and got further education. She ended up opening up a couple of businesses as well because she really wanted better for her life and her family as well. So that's one thing I really want my single moms out there to know, that though right now you may be in a situation right now where it may seem dark.
Yes.
But my mother raised 6 children single-handedly, and the possibility is there. And I think that with individuals like you, like Savvy Moms Unite, the community, I think that now it's even easier to get where you want to go instead of back in the 1980s and 90s when we didn't have the technologies. So I really want people to really understand that help is here. And I love that you transition and make this a calling, something bigger than you, because you could have just said, you know what, I'm doing it. This is my plan. I'm good to go. I'm good. Me and my daughter were good. You said, no, I'm here to go through and service. I'm here to go through and serve the humanity. I'm here to serve people as well. So that is amazing. That is amazing.
Thank you. No, you touched upon so many things that resonate with me. The whole idea of the single mom trying to work on that one job and just completely bogged down by it, and their kids feeling that and feeling the loss of the time with their parent.
Yes.
And I always said that, I was like, I want my daughter to have quality experiences, not just, all I saw was my mom get up, go to work, come home, get up, go to work, come home. It was like almost routine. Yes. I wanted to know, what? I remember when my mom took me to my game.
Yes.
And she was there, or she came to my school for lunch. Like the day when my daughters, here's where it was like, you're on the right path, Elkie. When we moved here, I purposely left where the job I was in because it was 24/7. My daughter had one day said to me, "You love these kids more than me," because I was working with high school kids. And that struck me. I was like, you know what? It was like, enough is enough. This is what I don't want. I don't want her to feel like my job is now more important than she is. Yes. So I move here. I don't work for the first 9 months I'm here. I'm going to her games. She's doing a sport every season, something we could not do before. I ended up going to her school for lunch, and she said, "Mommy, thank you so much. You don't even know how much this means to me." Wow. Like, she was so happy. And I'm like, I want more moments like that. Like, I look forward to just dropping by her school for random visits, and she knowing that that's possible, and not seeing it as, well, my mom's always gone because she got to make the money. And not to say even with the entrepreneurial journey, you won't have that in the beginning, but that won't be too long.
Yes. Yes. And that's the thing right there. It's just like, on the entrepreneurial journey, I know it's a lot of hustle and bustle on the way, but it's entrepreneurship in business, all mathematics. It's almost like, okay, how much effort you're going to put in to get the results that you want. So if you go through and look at success as math, you just know, if I put in effort a short period of time, I'm not willing to go through and do the 30, 40-year retirement plan. I want to go through and work hard for the next 5 years. And I don't want nobody to be fooled like, hey, in 6 months, you're going to be wealthy as I don't know what. You don't have to work anymore. That's a farce. That's not a reality. You're going to have to put some time in. You have to put a lot of effort in, because if you work hard for a period of time, you will be able to go through and enjoy those moments. And just like you said, you want to create memories with the people that you love. Right. Memories with the community. You want to be there for your daughter. So, and that's why I want my especially single moms. Okay, I've been saying this for the last year. Females are taking over when it comes to entrepreneurship. I'm a guy. I love to say, hey, guys, we're sitting on the sidelines. Females are really saying, you know what? No longer will I wait for this thing to happen. We're going to go out there and make things happen. And more importantly, single females, single moms are doing it in record numbers today. So I want all my single moms to realize that no longer do you have to have the excuses, you know what? I can't do it. There are other moms out there that are doing it just like you. And I want you all to stay connected to Savvy Moms Unite, because this is the movement. This is what's happening. These ladies are doing it, and they have none other than Elkie at the front of the helm that have done it, and she's showing individuals how to do it. And that's just amazing. That's just amazing right there. And Elkie, before we leave, I want you to go through and actually just give a parting piece of advice for that single mom out there. She's out there struggling. She knows she wants better. She really wants better. She wants to see her children go off to college. She wants to be able to spend time with her children. She really wants to do something special with her life. I just want you to give a parting piece of advice for her.
So for the single moms out there who are really in the struggle, really trying to dig deep and figure out what they want to do next, I want you to ask yourself this question. If someone would have asked you, what was your life going to look like in 5 years? And you could, it didn't matter. You had no limits. You could close your eyes and say, I want to do X, Y, and Z, right? What's stopping you from getting that? Start thinking about that. What is preventing you from seeing, even if you can't even think 5 years down, but what's preventing you from even seeing the possibilities? Yes. You got to do some work on the mind. And that's where it starts. It's your mindset. Wow. My mindset work is still happening till this day.
Yes, yes.
Because we've been trained, we've been programmed for so long in a certain way, especially in my family, in my culture, where it's like, you went to school, got a good education, you stayed on a job and retired. And me being on my 7th job, it was like, what are you doing? And I was just like, I know what I'm doing. I'm gaining experiences. And don't be shy about that. Yes. Gain your experiences, learn from the places you are, get a mentor. Start changing your circle. Wow. That's what I did. I changed my circle. I don't hang with just any old body. I hang with people who I want to be like.
Yes.
I want to learn from. Like I started reading more. Like I not to say I don't watch TV. I watch it every now and then, but I read more than anything now. Because it's important that I impart knowledge for myself, and that's helping me to see a vision for myself, because I'm reading about people like me doing big things.
Yes.
So I would say, if you can't think 5 years from now what you really want out of your life, you got to do some work now. There's got to be some pulling apart, digging deep. Cry sometimes. Let it go. Like, just be like, listen, I'm not where I'm at. Okay, you're not where you're at. What you going to do to get there?
Exactly. And that's one thing. Just excuses are gone now.
Yeah.
We're eliminating excuses. The paradigm has been broken. Like, hey, the glass ceiling has been broken. So now it's time for individuals to start walking through. No longer will we use the excuse of I'm a single mom. No longer use the excuse I don't have enough resources or finances. No longer, if you're seeing this right here, you either have a cell phone or you're on a laptop or a desktop or in a library or something. So you have access to resources that can really better your future. Now the decision is on you. It's really saying, okay, am I willing to go through and actually put that work in? Or am I just going to sit back and dream and talk about it? And that's one thing, is we've eliminated excuses today, Elkie. We've really eliminated excuses. But there's some people out there that really want to go through and connect with you as well. So I want to know, how can they actually connect with you? Your website, IG, Facebook, how can they connect with you?
So I'm all over social media in somewhere, in some form. But my most active social media is my Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope. Okay. I'm Savvy Mom Elkie across the board on those platforms. And then I have a group called Savvy Moms Unite on Facebook. You can join that group. That group is a bit more interactive. That's why I do live videos and live trainings and whatever I'm offering. That's where I announce them for the most part. So those are the multiple ways you can reach me. If you want to email me, you can email me at info@savvymoms with an S unite UNITE.com. That would be a great way to reach out to me. But yeah, those are the ways to reach me. Even if you Google Savvy Moms Unite, something's gonna come up.
Perfect. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited about the lives that will be touched just through this interview, and I'm just so excited about the lives that you've already touched thus far. And the journey, I tell my wife, I'm like, we've been in business for the last, oh my gosh, since I got in the military in 2010, so the last so many years. I'm like, and every day I tell my wife and to my brothers that we're just getting started. Like, hey, we don't even know what we're doing, and we're just getting started. And good thus far, but it's about to get really good. And that's one thing I really want my moms out there to know, is it's just about to get really good. It is. Getting started. You're just getting started.
Yes, and I love what you said about no excuses, because I tell every client that comes across me, I'm like, I don't want to hear excuse. I don't want to hear it. There's not. I will let you cry if you want to. Yes. But after that, we're gonna do some work.
That's it. It's time. We cry, get some tears out, but it's time to put that work in, because, oh my gosh, I got to get you back on the show, because it's so important for people to realize that, yes, we're emotional, we're humans. We're gonna do things. We have to go through and release. But as soon as we don't release for the rest of our life, we don't sit on the sideline for the rest of our life. We do what we have to do, and we get back in the game. And when we get hit one time, we don't go through and get back on the sideline. We push back, because we're savvy. We're savvy, and we're united. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you all. I'm excited about the community. And again, I want my listeners to go through and reach out. Oh my gosh, on Periscope. Hearing that she's done some big things on there. I checked out a YouTube page. There's a lot of great resources, a lot of great encouragement. And I really, do you have any sessions where people can sign up to do a consultation?
Yes, I do. So if you'd like to sign up for any complimentary sessions with me, you can go through my website, www.savvymomsunite.com, and right on the first page, you can click there for a free consultation. You can also email me if you're looking for consultation, and we can work out, schedule through that as well. And I also have a freebie. I got to offer my freebies.
You like that?
So I have a freebie that you can download through my other link, which is bit.ly, bit.ly/Savvy Budget Tools. And the S in Savvy is capital, the B in budget is capital, and the T in tools are capital.
Perfect.
And,
Well,
I
I'm
know
going to make
Faris
sure I
will
include
include
that in
it.
the notes as well, because I really want
Yes.
people to really get that resource guide to really start taking action. Not just
Yes.
saying it was a great interview. No, we taking action today. So again, thank you so much for actually just coming on the ASKFaris Show. You've been such a blessing to the show, been blessed to our audience as well. And I definitely look forward to having you back in the near future as well.
Thank you so much, Faris. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.